A number of you have been asking for videos about studying anatomy. This is such a large subject, so today's video will just serve as an introduction to the two basic approaches: observational drawing and constructive drawing. So this cast painting that I made serves as an example of observational drawing. So it doesn't matter if you're using a photograph or a live model, it's the process of recreating what you're looking at. The whole goal is to match the pose, the lighting, and the character of what you're looking at as closely as you can. To achieve an accurate drawing, you can use a variety of observational drawing techniques like visual measuring. This is where you arrange your painting by comparing visual angles to one another. You might even hold up your pencil and compare the angle of what you're looking at to the straight line of the pencil. So after some refinement, you'll end up with a careful scaffolding to continue your drawing. Negative space is another way to look at shape. This time you're only concentrating on the separation of object and background. Both of these techniques help prepare you for generally the end result, which is a careful contour drawing. And this is to say, an outline drawing, where you're looking at the specific edge outline details, and in this way you form a likeness. Bottom line, observational drawing is the act of looking from the outside in and carefully reproducing it. So it's incredibly important to practice this technique. But if you want to work as an illustrator or a concept artist, you're going to need to balance it with the second type: constructive drawing. If you've been watching Control Paint for long, this should look familiar. In this previous video, I showed that form can be simplified into a sort of abstracted stack of three-dimensional shapes, basic shapes. Well, it turns out the same principle should be applied to anatomy. Because if you don't have the ability to take your own reference photos of the character that you want in an illustration, like for instance, if you wanted to draw a space marine, or if you wanted to draw a dragon, well then you'd have to imagine the anatomy. So being able to simplify it into its basic component parts is incredibly important. So like the coffee cup, being able to conceptualize the human body as a pile of basic 3D shapes allows you to dream up limitless characters and poses. Here you can see that I move from a simple stick figure that has masses for the head, torso, and pelvis, and then I gradually build up the masses of his limbs. Finally, I end with that contour drawing. So in essence, constructive anatomy is like the reverse of observational drawing. You're working from the inside out, from simple to complex. I should mention though that any good artist will practice both types. If you only work from your imagination, your figures are going to lack realism. The realism that's found in nature's randomness. Alternately, if you only work from photos, you'll be very limited when it comes to unusual characters, and especially unusual camera angles. It can be hard to find photos from the top down or from the bottom up on the internet. Anatomy is a subject that I'm going to address in ControlPaint.com, but there are other educators that have already done a much better job explaining it. So I'd encourage you to go buy some books from any of the following authors: Andrew Loomis, George B. Bridgman, Glenn Villepeu, and Bern Hogarth. These guys really get constructive anatomy, and you'll learn tons by reading any of their books. If you have some great anatomy references, let's hear about them in the comments. I've recently added a links section to the site, and I'd love to fill out the anatomy section with some more great resources. And as always, thanks for watching.